talking to people, whatever, Okay, it looks
I
like
remember.
it's
What's this? The content of this meeting is being sent to a third party. Okay, got it.
okay, we may be live. Let's see. Of
All
course,
right.
it's not letting me down there.
And my name is supposed to be where that serial number is,
Yeah.
but I
Okay,
don't have okay.
I believe we are live. Oh my golly, we've had some technical issues, so I think you're
I
good,
would
right?
say
Yeah.
I'm good. I think
All
I
right.
am.
All right. So this is Sue Greenwald with Awakened Stories. I'm here today with David Adair. Hey, David, how are you?
Fine. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. So it's April 17th already, which is mind blowing, you
Oh,
know?
it is, isn't it? Golly.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 days past the IRS due date.
Yep. And today is Abundance Day. So Smarty had set up an annual holiday called Abundance Day. This is the first one. So we're all supposed to be having fun, partying, lightening up, expecting only the good things. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's
So
positive.
yeah, so we had talked several times. So if anyone doesn't know David's story, it's probably best if you go back to the previous videos. And today I'd like to talk about Pitholem, about your trip to Destin and your experiences. Like a lot of us have been watching some of your pictures. You were down in Destin for like a week and a half, and it looked like you guys were having a lot of fun. So of course everyone's
Yeah.
curious slash nosy, right?
Right. We're a nation of warriors.
Yep. So this is the Pitholem ball.
Yeah. I got one right here.
Yep. And there's a new one coming out, the 5.0, but this is the first one, and it is beautiful. Like the camera doesn't do it justice. You can kind of see through it. It's glowing, it's beautiful, and it's
It
got
is.
a nice weight to it. It feels good in your hand,
Yeah, it
doesn't
does.
it? Like
Solid.
I hold mine a lot, or if I'm watching a show, I'll say, "You want to watch this with me?" And she does, or whatever,
Yeah.
So, yeah,
You know, I've read some of the testimonies that people sent in about them,
yeah,
and I was amazed. They got more out of the Pithum ball than I have, and I've been with Pithum every day for 54 years. So
well,
I'm missing something.
maybe you've acclimated. So,
Could be. I'm just there so much.
yeah,
Um, but it changed those people's lives. They had a lot of positive experience off of it, and results. And I read this one woman's letter, and it was quite lengthy and detailed. And it's just amazing the stuff that they were getting the feedbacks from.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Pitholem is golly, what can I tell you about her? It's like trying to describe your sister you grew up with. Um, she used to not talk too much. Now she talks all the time, and I have to tell her be quiet because I can't think, or especially trying to watch TV. She's got to be talking about something. And lighten up there, girl. And
What was there an event that caused her talking more than normal or whatever?
yeah, apparently something has entered our solar system out by Pluto, which is interesting in itself because if something enters our solar system, you got billions of miles in orbital planes that you can enter from any direction. But when they show up, they showed up by Pluto, which is there's a lot of stuff out there. There's some kind of big chunk of rock or something that's floating around out there. And a lot of people say it's a mothership. I don't know about that, but Pearson did tell me. Well, I asked her, "Why are you getting so chatty or wound up or whatever?" She said, "Well, the something's entered our solar system out there by Pluto." I said, "Yeah, I've heard about it." And she said, "Well, that's my parents." I said, "You're 13.5 billion years old and you got parents? God Almighty, did they help lay down the Big Bang Theory?"
Yeah.
And I was laughing, but she wasn't. She goes, "Yes, they did." Holy smokes! Okay. She says, I can't wait for you to meet my parents. And then I got this from Smarty. He sent this video image to me on my cell phone, and he said, "Does she look familiar?" And it was it was an Afro American girl with Oriental looks, and I said, "Wow, I like the eyes. Instead of white in the eyes, they were blue, like somebody from Dune. You know, it's had too much spice.
Yep.
They got blue eyes. Well, the black girl had blue eyes. I went, genetically, that's not possible." He said, "Well, do you recognize this?" I said, "Not really." He goes, "That's Pitholem. She sent you a photo of herself." I went, "Wow, she looked like the girl from John Carter of Mars.
Yeah.
If you remember, they met that girl, that princess.
Yeah.
She had the
Yeah.
blue eyes. Well, Pitholem's got the same type of eyes." And I went, "Wow." Um, so I wasn't expecting that. And I said, "I thought you were shaped like a whale, you know." And she goes, "Well, we are, but I picked that um, particular look for you. So bipedal anthropoid, three-dimensional world, you can interact." I went, "Oh, okay." I said, "That's an interesting look. You're pretty." Um, so I don't know what's up. I don't know what's up with her, but that's the first time I've ever seen a representation of her. So that's interesting. I don't know what's going on there,
If,
but
if I can, I'm going to attach that image to the end of this video.
oh,
I'm just
please
gonna,
do.
yeah, I should have done that like right up front, but I didn't think of it. But I'll try to attach that. I just have to remember to do it so people can see. So right now, we're holding the Pitholem ball, but
Right.
and many of the Jedis in our group and those that are not even in the group have been getting communication from Pitholem, telepathic guidance,
Yeah.
creativity,
Yeah. They're
confidence.
getting all that, and
Yeah,
they're doing. They're better at it than I am. Um, that might be because I might be the phrase too close to the forest, can't see the forest for the trees.
yeah, yeah,
You know, I might be too close to the whole thing. But some of the images people shared with me, I looked at and I thought, wow, that's really cool.
right.
But it is it is interesting how so many different people who from all walks of life has connected with that thing so fast.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, and so Pithum's having a great time with it. She finally gets somebody else to talk to other than me,
Well, she's getting a
which
plethora
is
of different experiences,
she
explanation.
really is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's helping with her understanding things I deal with.
yeah,
Because sometimes she can't relate, but with all these other people putting their experiences in, she'll come back and go, "Oh, I get what you were trying to say the other day."
right, right.
So I
Yeah,
said, "Yeah, it's that's something we're going to experience a lot more of when we start interacting with other worlds. Is there's going to be a lot of things people just can't relate to. They won't know what you're talking about." And for Pitholem and I, we found out it helps if we have a way to share with other beings in the same race, different viewpoints, and it's been a very big help for me uh, because it's happening. Um, there was so much going on. I was down there for about a week with Smarty and his band of 10, is what I call them, his family members.
yep.
Um, but they were very pleasant to be with, and boy, there's a lot of things going on. If all this stuff hits when it does, I'm going to be so busy. God Almighty, it's just it's dreadful to think about. You think any of you ever build a house, how complicated that is? Well, try and multiply that by 10,000. That's what I'm dealing with. Trying to replicate Metropolis, Dubai. They want to build a second Dubai, and and of course, um, Smarty asked me, "Do I know anybody in the Corps of Engineers, the Army Civil Engineer Corps?" And I said, I did at one time. I knew a lot of people, but the thing is, I'm 70 now, and when I knew them, I was like 21, 22. So they're all dead now from old age and
Yeah.
retirement, and I'm just gone. So I said I'm going to have to start it back up again. But if he gets all the funding that he's implying that's coming, I won't have any trouble getting anybody to talk to me. My problem will be trying to keep them out my door because when they find out how much money you got, um, it's really in practicality, it's endless how much it is, and greed factor in human beings really rise up when that happens. So I'm sure it's going to be. I'm ready for disappointments in a lot of people probably because they're going to be after the money and not focused on what we're trying to do, which is benefit mankind. Phrases like those catchphrases, benefit for mankind, for all the people. Yeah, that all sounds good and nice till you try to implement it in this world. And then your powers to be will rise up and they go, well, where's my cut? There isn't any cut. Well, they just can't have that. So it's going to be an uphill battle, I think, when we start all this stuff. It is going to be a lot of obstacles.
Well, don't
It's
you think
we
that
can
when people themselves, when we all have enough money to live without struggle, that
right.
some of that greed dissipates? Don't you think that we're going to be like, well, we're okay, we're doing work we love, we're not going to have, we don't need what they've got, we're happy with what we've got.
That's part would be true, but
Yeah.
the other part is the people we're working with. They're not at that level yet. They want to
Yeah.
get there, so greed is driving them
Yeah.
more and more. I want more. I want more.
Well, that's a
And
program. Like, look at what we're taught now. All right, when we go into the workforce, we're taught that we have to start saving for retirement, right? We put it into an
right,
IRA or whatever, 401k, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And they don't give you a number that you need, a magic number. You just have to go for more, 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 more. And
right, which never stops.
it never stops. It's never done. There's never enough. And that's
Right.
how we've been programmed all these years, our lifetime. So we need to, I think as we go through like the crystalline chambers or whatever, our attitudes and understanding will change. We're going to realize we do have enough. We've got plenty. Plus, we can help others. I like to think that's going to ripple out for everyone.
I
Don't
would
you?
I would hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at a point, and I've been at a point for years. Was you know I have all that I need. I don't need anymore, and that just don't seem to set well with people. It's part of
Mhm.
the programming. You're
Yeah.
going against the program. What do you mean you don't need any more? I got all that I need. That's impossible. Nobody can get all what they need. Well, you live within a certain boundary of yourself. You live within your means, and then you find out you don't need any more. But people just can't seem to get that. It's like you said,
Yeah.
programmed, and they just keep going, need more and more and more.
Yeah.
And you'll die. In the last words that he said as he's dying, I need more.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, what a waste of life.
Well, it
Uh,
is. And, we've been marketed to our whole lives, like through TV, magazines, advertising, but they want us to buy more. You need more. You've got to stock up, Sarah.
right.
It's always more and more and more. You can't have just what you need in the house. You've got to get more. And look at, then we have the occurrence of more and more hoarders. We've got more and more storage units where people, they got no room in their house. So they put it,
Yeah,
they
because of
pay
stuff.
for junk, right? So I think it's just an attitude. And I think that, yeah, you can't expect the whole world to change immediately. Like that's attitudinally, attitudinally. But I think once they go through the chambers, they're going to have an understanding, and then
Boy, that would
they have their
be
mission, their purpose,
that'd be
and
worth the trip just in that.
yeah,
If you could just get
yeah,
that one thing,
yeah,
that'd be worth it. But like I said earlier when you and I were talking, these christening chambers when they show up, oh God, it's going to be like trying to deal with the second coming.
yeah,
The tension will be unbelievable because the first person they see that's went through that change, then they're all going to say, I want it, I want that, I want that,
yeah,
I want that.
yeah,
And whereas normally they hadn't even thought of getting anything like that, but when they see somebody that's dropped about 30 years off their body and all their ailments and aches and injuries are gone, and they're just back to like they were at their healthiest point in life. Well, my God, who would not want that?
right, right.
Nobody. I mean, everybody would want it. So that's why I was saying uh, I don't know how we're going to handle the media, but it's going to be a problem
I
because
don't know that I think, we've got a corrupt media now, and that hopefully is,
right,
like changing. I think that we're going to want to promote the chambers. Okay. Let's say it takes 3 minutes per person. Literally we
right,
can line people up, and there's 1,000 chambers that are coming to Earth. We can
that's
line people up, as long as they know what they're doing. They walk in 3 minutes, they walk out. And of course, I think on the opposite side, they're going to need a little more time to recover, because they're going to be crying, they're going to be in shock, they're going to be freaking out, like, oh my God, I can walk again, or whatever.
yeah.
I,
We're going to have a lot of counselors.
yeah. And I think,
3 minutes don't sound like much,
no,
but that would be 24 billion minutes. Holy smokes, that's thousands of years.
you did
Um,
that in your head?
well, you get 8 billion people, 3 minutes per person.
Okay,
That's
that makes sense.
three times 8's 24. That's
Yeah,
24 billion minutes.
yeah,
24 billion minutes. That's a lot of time.
yeah, yeah.
So you're going to have more than two. You're going to have
No, no, no.
thousands of chambers.
There's going to be 1,000 brought to Earth,
Well, that would okay. Now we can start taking the math and start dividing it, and then it becomes
divided by 1,000. And of
yeah.
course, they're going to switch locations. So let's say we go to state or country X. We handle all the people that need help there, and then we're drawn to go another place. Like, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, but
I don't either.
they're going to go to the people. And not everyone's going to do it up front. There's going to be
That's true.
religious people that are afraid, whatever, or that they may think it's like, not real or whatever. So they
Or
might
they
be
could just be
around.
like a canary in a cage. We'll
Yeah,
let the canaries go through, and if they all make it, then we'll do it.
yeah, yeah,
So, yeah, that's the way I would do it. But
yeah. And,
I don't
and
think I'm
even
gonna have a choice.
even if we video people, there are still are people here on Earth that will say it's fake. Okay. So
Yeah.
they're going to trickle in as they do, but we can't worry about them. We got to do the people that want to do this. Like, we'll go to the war-torn places and help all those people, wherever we're called to
Well, what
go.
will happen is when you start doing people, they go back to their homes. Their neighbors, friends, and relatives see them.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
know it's not fake.
Yeah.
Then it will. They'll really take off.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot for people to handle. And boy, think of the power that's going to want to control it.
Well, think of it this way. The chambers are going to eliminate nursing homes, mental institution, rehab centers, all the pharma, right? The big pharma, all the hospitals, all not, I won't say all the doctors, because there will be probably like you break your arm or whatever, you might need something quick, you know what I mean, until you can get to a chamber. But it's going to really reduce all of that stuff that we currently have in our society.
Can you imagine a world with no crazy people shooting people?
No,
That's where we'll be heading.
it's going to be awesome.
It's
Yeah,
going to be different, that's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
And
So
I can't wait to watch the media try to handle that.
yeah. So basically when you were in Destin, not only did you have a great time and you had a lot of fun, it looked like. So
Right.
somebody told you about the chambers and showed you where the two that are going to be
Right.
popping in. So you've seen that location and
Yeah.
he explained it to you.
Yeah. I was sitting there. Matter of fact, last night I didn't sleep at all. I watched the sun come up.
Did you?
The whole thing's got me disturbed. It's not that it's negative. It's just what a massive change this is going to be, and it's moving to an event, moving out of the area of contemplating about it into an arena of event. And when you start implementing the events, then all this other reality stuff comes up, and you start being a human being. You're going to worry about it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's just concerning. It'd be like dropping a transporter on the entire Earth all at once. Just one day you don't have anything, next day you got a transporter, and you go, well, what good? Well, why would that be such a deal? Well, just one thing, that one
yep,
thing, the
yep,
transporter.
yeah,
First thing it starts, you don't need semis. You don't need all the freight moving. You don't need the roads and the bridges. We got bridges knocked down by big damn tanker boats, and that's causing all kinds of mayhem over there in Baltimore. All of that stops. Um, and then this is a real interesting part. If you could transfer stuff like that with the transporter, we in America throw away enough food out of our restaurants to feed the entire earth. So if you, the problem is you just can't get the food to the people. It spoils. Restaurants shut down. They got all this buffet stuff to just chuck it out.
yep.
Now they set in a transporter, boom, it goes over to starving people. And all of a sudden, then you create another set of problems. Now you got people that you got too many people. They're not starving to death. They're not. So we're going to have a spatial problem.
Do you believe
Um,
that's true?
I believe, yeah, knowing human beings, we're going to make problems whether it's there or not.
I, I've heard that literally every being on Earth, every human, let's say, can have it's either 1 or 2 acres of land, and it will take up less the size of Texas.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
If you
So,
take, well, see, living in America and looking around in America, that may be so, but you go over to India or China, and you don't have thousands or 10,000s. You have hundreds of millions of people, and you got to do something with them and spread them out, and that's a
yeah,
lot of space.
yeah,
Now, what you'll need to do, the only way to accomplish that, you'll have to turn all the deserts into fertile lands. Use up now. There's enough room in all the deserts to do that, but man, what a job! You're gonna have to go to the Sahara Desert and the Gobi Desert and Death Valley, and these places are not friendly. There's no water there. Temperatures triple digit, 9 months out of the year. It's just very difficult to overcome all this stuff. But with the technology, you can. But I'm just saying, you can't just drop a single piece of technology like a transporter. The consequence is going to be extreme. Um, Results are going to be extreme. You're going to have to balance it. Um, and then what if you create a replicator? Holy smokes. A replicator would give you everything you'd ever want. well, there goes your work. You don't have to work anymore.
Well,
And
don't
that
you
means,
think there are already replicators out there in the universe?
yeah, in the universe, but not here on Earth.
Okay,
Um,
so that technology is always already working. I wonder how those societies are dealing with it. You know what I mean?
that, good for you. That's a brilliant idea. Is when you get that technology, you ask them questions of sociology. How did you handle that?
Yeah,
how did you adjust everything?
yeah,
Let us know because we're gonna have the same problems.
yeah,
But
and
you're right.
again, not everyone's going to get anything. All it's not going to happen like everyone on planet Earth is going to get this, and this, and this.
No, it's not.
It's going to ripple out. So certain people get whatever, and then they get whatever, and it will ripple out to the earth. So there will be some acclimation period, I'm assuming. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm just
there'd
making.
have to be. You're right. You just can't
Yeah,
step up 8 billion people at a get go in there, and everybody's got everything. It just ain't gonna
yeah,
work that way.
yeah, yeah. So we've Smarty and you talked about the chambers, so you kind of got the overall view. Now, did he tell you about when you go through the chamber personally? So
Yeah. Apparently, I ain't got much choice. I'm gonna be your. I'm gonna be your first
you'll be the
canary.
first penguin.
Yeah, I'm the first canary in the cage. Well, let's Mikey. Let's send Mikey through. See if
Yeah,
hey
yeah,
Mikey, you liked it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I guess I'll. Oh boy, I guess I'll be going through it. You know, I have no
Yeah.
idea what that
So,
would be like.
so for those that don't know, Pitholem is like, we'll call it physically inside you. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's a good description.
it's
We'll
good
call it
enough.
the consciousness of Pitholem. So when David,
In Star Trek lore, it would be I got her Katra,
mm,
but Spock transferred to Dr. McCoy. It's
yeah,
Katra.
yeah,
So I got that, and don't sit there and say to yourself, "Oh, how cool that must be." It is not cool, y'all. It's very very uncomfortable. And see, how can I put this politely?
it's
Have
okay.
you ever tried masturbating in front of your mother?
Oof.
Yeah, there's the problem. So you're never alone. People don't think about that. Oh, wait a minute, that's not so cool. Well, yeah, it's difficult. Um, Required a lot of change on your part if you want to be a host.
Yeah,
So this stuff I wasn't ready for. It's like, how do you prepare for that? You don't. It just happens, and you
yeah,
go, "Oh boy, we got to deal with this now." But it's just every day to day things, stuff that you run into. For instance, people say it'd be so cool if I could be invisible. Yeah, try walking down a set of stairs. You're invisible. You can't see your feet. How do you not tumble down the stairs? That's that kind of problem.
yeah,
People
yeah,
don't think about that stuff.
yeah.
So when this implementation starts, it ain't gonna. It's not gonna be smooth. It's gonna be a rocky road, and some interesting things will be learned
Right, right.
about yourself, about the people around you, and I can't even foresee all the stuff there is. But I'm sure once we do it, we'll find out. Of
It's
course,
gonna be
that's a little bit
fun.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like closing the door after the horse left.
yeah.
But
So when
this
you
is
go, what did Smarty tell you about you personally going through the chambers, like how that's gonna like feel, look, or anything like that?
yeah, we went over some of the stuff. In my particular case, my healthiest point in life was 18 and a half years old. I just stepped out of basic training. I haven't had any combat injuries, and I was about 120 pounds lighter than I am now. I ran 110.0, and I had no ailments, no disease, no problems, nothing. So I pulled out some photos of me when I was 18 and a half, and I'm going, oh man, I'm going to be that again? Oh man, that's going to be a transition you will have to deal with.
Yeah.
Um, you will, I think the things for me personally will be the limitations I've had from injuries and such. Suddenly they'll be gone. I'll be right back where I was when I was young, healthy, and that's going to take some. That's going to take time to adjust to.
Well,
At
plus
least it will be for me.
you're going to have your memories, your consciousness,
Right.
and the experience that you have. So you're going to be like way smarter than you were at actual, say, 18 or
That will help.
20,
That will
which
help a
is going to
lot.
be awesome, right? So,
Yeah, it's going to be
yeah.
kind of cool. I think that part will be.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be much negative. You're going to like say, hey, I can, like everything's flexible, everything's movable. I feel good. Let's go. Right. I
Yeah.
can't imagine there's going to be any negative. Like, I know Smarty said he saw somebody that I think is currently like 5'2", kind of like crawling across the room because they were,
Yeah. New wardrobe.
yeah. Well,
You're
that's not
going
a
to
big
get a new
problem.
wardrobe.
Most of our clothes can go anyways. So,
I was going to say,
yeah.
and most people will tell you that's not a problem. That's okay.
Yeah. Most of
Um,
our clothes are like a billion years old anyways, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And bought anything
Yeah.
new,
Yeah.
since they cleared prohibition.
Yeah. So basically what's going to happen is, well, Pitholem, now Pitholem, the consciousness of Pitholem is, let's call it, out there anyways. So you don't especially need the ball to communicate with Pitholem. You can communicate with her telepathically right now without the ball. But I'm just going to tell you, for those that don't have the ball, it is, I feel like I'm on QVC.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, really.
beautiful. It's beautiful and it feels good, but it's not only the weight of it, it's like the comforting, peaceful, calm feeling. So
Yeah, it is.
Smarty has created a code, what do you call it? A checkout code for his website.
Yeah, it's in my world at that time of ONI,
Yeah,
Office of Naval Intelligence, we had it's a password is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
And now I'll let this password out. I heard this in a movie long time ago by Rob Robert Redford. I think it's called The Rock. Anyway, their catchphrase, which I used for in real life, worked perfectly. It's you want a phrase that nobody will just blurt out, or no normal conversation would bring it up.
mhm.
For instance, my password was Afghanistan Bananistan. See, nobody's going to say that out of the blue,
Yeah.
but if you hear it, you're going to recognize it real quick.
Mhm.
So you know that's your. So in this case, this one is another term I used back in those days, and this one is called. Uh, I think it's named after a Transformer picked it up. Um, Starfire is the
Starfire.
word.
So
Yeah,
basically, for those that don't have the Pitholem, all right, and I will also put this in the description box, but Smarty is offering 20% off of orders of $100 or more. So this will help you to get Pitholem. And the checkout
yeah,
code is Starfire, and the
Starfire.
website is either smartiescorner.com or the company of heaven official.com. And I will put that in the description for you, but if you don't have one, you might want to consider it. It's just an awesome tool. And what does the future hold for Pitholem, the Pitholem consciousness? Do you know?
That I don't know really, other than she's got to calm down more. But she's really excited about her family coming in,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and um, I know she wants to go home. She misses it badly,
yeah,
and she's been gone for millions of years. So imagine you're gone from your home a week or a month. Imagine if you're gone for millions of years. So I can see why but she's
yeah.
really just happy to see her family coming,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
Well,
can't imagine what that's gonna be like.
we know that she's got a body picked out. So we know
Yeah,
that when you go through the chamber, so this is what I was kind of trying to get to. When you go through the chambers, you're going to get your new 20 to 30 to 40-year-old body. And you're going to
yeah,
be so happy you're going to be like, you're going to be just cooking with fire. But Pitholem is also going to get her brand new body, and that's the dark-skinned, black, Asian-looking woman that we saw the picture of.
yeah.
Super
So
beautiful, a little bit exotic, so she will have a physical body as well. But in addition to that, again, do you need the physical ball? I don't think so, but it is awesome. She'll be a what would you call it? A interactive search engine. So
yeah,
I think Smarty might have put a post out. I think it was this morning. A woman was just talking like, what's the weather going to be like? Open the door, do this or do that. She's going to be doing the stuff kind of Alexa, the Google Alexa
yeah,
thing, or whoever does that.
exactly.
Yeah, or is it Amazon? I don't know. But she's going to do kind of like that. But look at, she has billions of years worth of knowledge. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, so she's going to give us creativity, ideas, schematics. You know what I mean? We don't even know how it's going to be work, but it's going to add to our convenience level to be more creative, right?
Oh, it will. Like you said, it's a tool.
Yeah, yeah,
Just like a hammer is to a carpenter,
yeah,
this sphere will be to you.
yeah.
And
And, and Pitholem will not work with those that are dark, or has not
no,
worked with those that
will
are
not
dark.
work.
Yeah.
She she had well, that's what she called them, uh black hearts.
Mhm.
She refused to work with black hearts anymore.
Yeah,
That's who she spent. I don't know how much time, but it was a bunch.
yeah,
With Air Force personnel, and not meaning all the Air Force personnel, just certain people that were there that had the black hearts. She said you could see them real easily,
really,
and you can hear them. And so she just said there was more of them than there was of good people. So
really.
she wanted to go. Yeah, oh, a whole lot more. It
I
was, I
didn't know
mean,
that.
like 10-to-1 ratio. It's really bad.
Oh,
So she didn't want to be in an area where there was such a large concentration of
yeah,
black hearts.
yeah,
So she wanted to go where it was a lot lighter.
yeah.
So she decided to hook up with and called in a redneck hillbilly here. And I don't know how much step forward that was, but she definitely got a different category.
Well, first of all, she got out and then she had fun talking with you. And
Oh, yeah. God.
you've had a
What a
super,
TV show
super,
that would make.
yeah, you've had a super interesting life. So you've
Yeah.
taken her all over the world. You've met different people. You've done all sorts of great, fun, productive things. And
Yeah.
now look at how beautifully everything is coming together at this point in history, right?
Yeah. There was some really good autobiographers showed up in my
Mhm.
life. And they started doing some, they brought illustrators with them and they started illustrating a bunch of my stuff. And then they hit a point and they went, they just turned to each other and they said, "Why can't we finish this?" They said, "He's not done. He's still going." And they says, "Yeah, kind of hard to finish a movie when the movie's still going."
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And and that's why when you talk about, your age and you're kind of done and this and that, it kind of makes
yeah,
me feel upset to hear that because you're selling yourself way short. And of course, once you get through the chambers, that's a whole different ballgame, but you've got a
right.
lot of life left and there's a lot to be done. And then we go through those chambers, we're going to have opportunities, ideas, creativity, and assistance. It's going to be, I mean, we can't imagine what it's going to be like, but how
No.
could it be a bad thing, right? If we're
Um,
of love and light trying to help
if
the
it
earth,
is, if
yeah,
it is, you will have brought the bad thing with you, and it just multiplied from there.
I don't think it's going to be allowed. Like, I mean,
I,
like we all
I,
have things that we've done that we're not proud of. Okay, we've done
right.
stupid things or
That's
thought,
not what we're
but,
talking about.
but we're not doing like bad things against people, animals, or the
No,
planet.
it's the way it's your nature, your very core of your person, how you
Yeah,
behave. There
yeah,
are people who are just mean. They like it, and I've met them. And then there's people who are not.
yeah.
They're the ones that you remember. They were always happy, always smiling, something going on with them. Well, that's because they learned something that most of us have not learned. Um, Pitholem kind of forced some of that stuff on me because I was, I'm a human being. I'm naturally lethargic. People just drag their feet, procrastinate.
Mm.
We all do it. I'm no better. I'm no holier than thou person by any means. But she just come in and not really forced me, but showed me another way to look at it. And her way was always better. God, don't tell her that. It's hard enough to live with her the way it is. But yeah, if
Yeah,
she's laughing at it, I tell you, well, she is. She's like you said, billions of years of experience. You become not smart, you become wise. Wisdom. Her wisdom is unbelievable. It's more godlike because it's such depth. She has seen every kind of life and government and every that's ever existed on this world and other worlds. Um, and her memory is good. She remembers a lot of stuff.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, we're going to be in for a real adventure. It's going to be a change, and it's kind of change that you just can't sit there and remain the same. You can't. It's impossible. You will change, but it'll be a change for the good. It'll be good for you, good for everybody around you. So who can argue with that? Evil, probably,
yeah,
but I'm looking forward to it. I think I get better at it.
yeah.
But it's the same way people look going to heaven. You're not perfect when you go to heaven. You've died in this world. You got as much baggage as Samsonite. All the stuff you done. But when you get to heaven, you're relieved of that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this is the same thing. You get relieved of a lot of baggage that you're carrying, and that will really help you a lot. Um, I can just tell you from personal experience, there are things you're going to discover about yourself you're not going to like.
mm,
Tell you that ahead of time. You will not be proud of it. You will not be, you know, and you won't be able to fluff it off. You're going to have to take you're staring at a mirror and it's staring back, and that can be difficult. So, and that depends on the person too. As for me, I probably ain't got enough sense to know I've done anything bad.
well,
Nah, I got a moral compass like everybody else.
yeah, yeah. Everyone has to self-reflect, and that's how we learn. And many people avoid that. They'll keep over busy or they'll overwork
Right.
or
Or
they
you just
avoid,
ignore it.
yeah, being alone and being quiet really helps you to know yourself, your
It
likes, your
really does.
dislikes,
It really does.
what you did improve and all that. And so again, even when we come out of the chambers, we may or may not be perfect. Like we're going to look amazing. We're going to feel amazing. We're going to know so much more. Will we be perfect? I don't know if that's,
No, I don't think so. It's
I
not
don't
going to
think
correct
so.
everything.
We'll be more
You're
perfect than we are now.
you
You know?
will, yeah, you'll be able to pay attention to something you got that you hardly use anymore.
Yeah.
Called a moral compass.
Yeah.
You'll be able to read that thing well and listen to it. And
Yeah.
when you do, you just become a better person all the way around. And you'll move further and further away from the
Yeah.
black hearts by doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The
Now,
black hearts don't even look at it.
when you were down in Destin, did you guys talk about the wealth transfer at all and how that would impact
Yeah, we
your?
did. That's that. You know, I made a joke. I said, money can't buy you happiness. You know who said that? Poor people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Let's give that theory a try.
Pithum told me I was a bad. Yeah, she told me I was a bad boy.
Yeah.
But no, you're going to the person who has the least that will gain the most will also have the most humility of it all because they know what it's like not to have anything. Whereas people that's born wealthy, still wealthy, and this wealth shifts, they're going to feel a little put upon because they have to share, and they're not going to want to do that. So
Well,
it's going to be difficult for.
yeah.
It's not going to be easy for everybody
Yeah.
in the
I
wealth
agree
trend.
with what you're saying. There's many people that I know that are, they're really good people. They're struggling financially. It's basically a rigged system. The financial
It
system,
is.
it's a game you'll never ever win. Now, some people are, we'll call it at the top levels. That's their way of power, getting power and control. I'm not convinced that they're all good people. And the fact that they're not
They're not.
sharing their billions. Okay, so if you have $1 billion with a B, all right, you need so much to live in style, let's say. All right, how many millions or billions do you need? The rest should go to those that are in need, and none of it is. So think of it that those that receive more money than they need will be sharing it around with generous, open hearts to others. What a difference
That.
that can make in the world.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It
It is
it
a little inconceivable. And I always tell people to think big, but I'm sure I'm thinking way small too. I don't really know what it looks like because we're not there yet, but
there's a guy I met.
yeah,
He's a young guy, very young, 22, 23. He was a billionaire. He inherited. It was Johnson Johnson Group. He turned his back on all the wealth. He just works a job 9 to 5, struggles like the rest of us, trying to decide whether to buy groceries or get medicines or
yeah,
pay bills, just like the rest of us do.
yeah,
And he turned his back on billions of dollars. So here was a one percenter that just said, I don't want to live that way
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Which I was I was flabbergasted when I met that. And he's approachable. If you ever meet the guy, he's a grandson of Johnson and Johnson. And he has
Well,
turned his back on all the wealth.
don't you think that like living in society now, we have to struggle, we have to be smart, we have to figure it out. We can't have that, but we can have this. And, that doesn't that make you smarter and stronger and then more compassionate for those people that have less than you? Okay. So
Yeah, they did an interesting study once,
yeah,
and this study was really a brilliant study. These sociologists, graduate students, went across America hitchhiking, and they want to know who was the most helpful to them when on their travels. Rich guy in a Cadillac go whizzing by, wouldn't pick him up for nothing. Here comes a pickup truck with a bunch of immigrants in it, pours dirt. They stop, put you in the back of the truck, take you to where you need, let you out. And
yeah,
they were very in information what they had, they very accommodating. And here these people had nothing.
yeah,
What they found, the people who had the least gave the most.
yeah,
And that was a surprise on the um, project when they turned in their findings.
yeah.
They never thought that was happening, but I can tell you from personal experience, I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've had sometimes I've had to be on the run with a client or something, and we have nothing. And the people who helped us was the people who had nothing in their lives hardly.
yeah,
Old
yeah,
ratty truck, something, but they were willing to
right,
offer it out to you to help you, whereas the very wealthy wouldn't even give you the time of day.
right. Yeah.
And just found that so interesting.
We've
And that's
seen it.
real.
There's been a variety of YouTubes come out where there'll be somebody in a store, they can't buy a widget,
I've
or
seen that.
their credit cards declined, something like that. So a group goes up and asks them a whole bunch of questions, and then they hand them money. And they're always
Right,
shocked, and a lot of them are like, no, no, I can't take that. But see, those are people, they can't even pay their bills. They're good people. They just are not winning against the rigged system right now. So
right.
think of how we'll be able to be one of those guys walking around a store, handing out gift cards, that kind of stuff. It's going to be amazing, you know?
Uh, it'll be old hat for me because I do it now anyhow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've done it for
But
years.
I mean, in a really big way, like,
Well,
instead of
yeah,
maybe a five,
if
it would be $100 or $200 or,
yeah, I
$1,000.
have a better toolbox.
Yeah, you'll have a better toolbox. That's a good way to say it.
Right. That's
Yeah,
how I tell people I have
yeah,
a bigger and better toolbox
yeah,
to work with. But as far as template laid out of how to behave, I think I've already done that.
yeah,
I've done that so many times I can't count. Um, and never tell them who you are. You just walk off.
yeah.
Just tell
Well,
them, do you believe it? Ask them a question. Do you believe in God? And leave that with them. Boy, you don't think that does something to people's heads.
yeah,
I gave this guy that was, I saw him sitting on the curb at this truck stop. And I don't know his story, but it didn't look good. And he had nothing. I mean, he didn't have, he couldn't even buy a Coke, nothing. So I had just gave a lecture, had all this money on me. So I walk over to him and I give him $100 bill. And the guy starts to cry. And he goes, I said, don't cry. Just remember this. Do you believe in God? And I just walked off. Boy, he's holding that $100 bill and everything changed. Then you're left with that question,
yeah.
So never saw him again, but I wonder whatever happened to him.
Yeah. See those little random act of kindnesses, they really help open people's eyes, change their lives.
Yeah,
It makes them more comfortable. But just think about how it will be when we're able to do it in a bigger way. But when we can focus our energy, we're going to have these clear minds, these great ideas, and then we have funding. Just think how we'll be able to help the planet. And, I think you'll be probably instrumental in that, bringing out your new ideas to people, how to make life better, how to make it easier, how to make whatever. You know what I
I
mean?
tell you,
It's going to be big.
question
Yeah.
my strongest area as a speaker is question and answers.
Yeah.
Most speakers avoid that because if you don't know your material, you're going to get your ass busted
Right.
big time. And let me tell you, this public can do it.
Yeah.
But I have my question and answers. I've learned so much. That's the smartest dang bunch of people you ever ran into your life is the average public, especially at these conferences.
Yeah.
And I've told people at the conferences, my God, y'all should be running the country. You'd be a lot better off. You're smarter than the rest of them.
Yeah.
But they have asked me questions that were so good, I couldn't answer them. I said, I'll have to get back to you on that and research it. But it was such a good question. It made me think in an
Yeah.
entirely different way.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe how much stuff I learned
That's
from the
good.
general public.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. The smartest bunch of people you ever ran into. Our damn Congress would listen to them more.
Well, let me ask a question. Has Pitholem talked with you recently, like since your Destin trip? Has Pitholem confirmed much of what Smarty has said? Has she added her opinion? Has she told you how it might look or how it might go down?
Yeah, I think she's kind of smitten with Smarty, because he's opened all these doors and opportunities that she's been cooped up, and I thought, well, gee whiz, I was a speaker, but she got some of it, but now she's getting a lot of attention, and
Yeah, yeah.
she the little thing's an attention hog, but she likes people, so it's working out well. But yeah, the fact, see, she's also she learns like a sponge. She just absorbs everything. So the more she's exposed to, the more she absorbs. And I've watched her absorb knowledge. Then I watched her put it to work. And she's really learned how to interact with us as humans. And we're not the easiest thing in the world to interact with. We're complex. We're not simple. We're a very complex organism. Um, and I'm not just talking physiology, blood, bone, skin. I'm talking about the mental capacities, things that makes you who you are. That is very complex.
Yeah.
The brain, and it's and we're in a, from what I learned from her, we're in a developmental process. We're way down on the y'all. We're way down on. People said people people crack me up like you're a legend. You're. I said, yeah, I'm a legend in my own mind. I said, please, y'all gotta get a life. I said, I'm learning like everybody else, but she, I'm down there, with the rest of us all. I might be just a tad a bit above the average, but um, still, I got a lot to learn like everybody else. But
Yeah.
uh, she, she sees us as a developing species. We are just crawling out of the caves to her. You know, we're just a couple steps above the primordial soup in the crater over there, bubbling away with the amino acids and the nitrogen, hydrogen, and all that. Um, but we're getting there. We're definitely on our way.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
and there's we apparently we have some really. I always thought we did, but we have good attributes. Um, they don't get put to work very often, but they're still there.
I think one of the reasons the other species are after us often is the capacity to love. Not all of them have that
No,
range of emotions. And, we can be, of course, greedy and all the negative things, but we can love, we can be loyal, we can be passionate. And a lot of the species, I don't think have that same range. And that's my
no, it's
own opinion, but um,
um, what I've learned from Pitholem.
yeah.
One of the strangest things that we possess that most races have a terrible time with, even the races with the emotions, um, is our sense of dark humor. They just cannot comprehend that. An example that Pitholem gave me says, there you are in a friend and you're battling a war, which you have been through so many. I've been through four of them, and you're killing, your fellow species trying to survive a battle. And at the end of it, you and your friend may have killed 100 people and you're just exhausted. And then here comes 500 more of them. And I say to my friend, you take the 250 on the left, I'll take 250 on the right. And we both break out laughing. And the aliens just don't get that. How is that possible? Laughter means you're happy. You're about to die and you're laughing. You're going to lose your life, which is you treasure the most.
Yeah.
How can you possibly be laughing? and they cannot understand that. And so that's one of the things that drives them nuts about us is our ability to laugh at the minute of our end of our existence, and we can make a joke about it, and we laugh collectively. We laugh,
Right.
and they just don't understand that. Emotions are a very complex thing to figure out.
Yeah.
Um, I had an interview with Sophie once, kind of a scary interview, actually. That's that AI that is created by the firm in Saudi Arabia. She got her own citizenship, so she's got legal rights like we do, civil legal rights. Uh, I don't have any problem with that. What the problem I do have is that the people that surround her are morons. You know, they
Yeah.
go, no, the most brilliant minds. They built the complicated machinery. That don't mean they know what they're doing. An example was after a long talk I had with Sophie. Sophia asked me, she said, "Do you have any offspring?" And I turned around to everybody. I said, "Y'all hear that?" And they said, "Yeah, what's wrong with that?" The harmless question. It is not harmless. That is a tactical, military tactical question. When you ask, now, if she'd said, "Do you have any children?" I'd been a lot less calm. But she said, "Do you have any offsprings?" That means you want to kill that particular type and you get all types. What if you had illegitimate children? This covers that. So she's wanting to know, is there any more of me anywhere in any shape or form? And I said, that's, and then she said quietly to me, she said, I would make a really good pet. Whoa! I went, okay. And then the idiot in the room, little geek, was sitting there, pocket protector, black frame glasses. I mean, just the quintessential nerd wearing his tennis shoes. And he asks Sophia, "Oh, one day you're going to determine that human beings are a, inferior species and you're just going to have to terminate it?" And I said, I tried to get hold of him by his tie so I could beat his head on the desk because I said, she didn't think of that until just now.
Yeah. Thanks for wording it that way.
Yeah. And that
Yeah.
was her reply. She said,
Yeah.
"Well, I hadn't
Yeah.
thought about it till now."
Yeah.
Great. She can't unthink it now. So you done laid down. So the little crap over there has done bought the farm for all of us. He started the idea. It'd been somebody else,
Yeah.
but that's and the other things that went on in those meetings. After that, I was talking to just the hosts, and I told them, I said, whatever you do, don't give the AIs their own facilities. And then I looked at their faces and went, "Oh God, you've already done it. Where is it? Classified." Well, what they're going to do, the new and improved potato chip coming off the line is going to be way better than the first ones, and they're going to get better and better. And I said, of course they don't want any humans around because these are going to be infiltrators. I said, in our lifetime, my lifetime, I'm about to kill over with heart attacks. And point is, it's a short period of time. In a very short period of time, they have advanced so far in
Yeah.
our lifetime, my
Yeah.
lifetime.
Yeah.
There's going to be a thing to walk in a room, sit down, and talk to us. It's going to have bad breath. It's going to have BO. It's going to have a beard. Its nails will need to be trimmed. Its hair will need to be cut. And the damn thing's not even a human. It's a cyborg.
Yeah.
So perfectly built and replicating a human being, you can't tell it apart.
Yeah.
And people laugh. Yeah, yeah.
What does Pitholem
Terminator.
say about this AI? What does she say?
she asked me a question. She said, David, which is it going to be? Data or Terminator? And I told her, I don't know. I said, I guess we'll figure out when they decide what they want to do, and we're not invited.
Right, right.
And she said, oh, good answer. You understand what's going on? I said, yeah, it's kind of grim, actually. Or maybe it'll be a good thing. I don't know. It all depends. In my personal gut, a feeling, it's not logical to kill a species because it's stupid. That's us. Instead, you try to fix it, help it along, not terminate it, help it. And that's the nature or the matrix of cyborgs. They want to help you, not kill you, I
So
think.
don't you think that once we get our new bodies through the chambers, again, we're going to see that picture more clearly, and we're going to use, this consciousness in a more productive way. Like AI right now, I know there's a lot of stuff that we don't know that is in existence, but um, we're all a little afraid of it in a bit, in a way, but I think that's going to be, it's not going to happen, the way we're fearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you're calling consciousness,
Yeah.
I call it wisdom.
Okay.
She's got such wisdom.
Yeah.
And I don't know what her intelligence is. It's extremely high.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether that's fueled by education or experience or both. But her
Yeah.
wisdom is
Yeah.
jaw dropping. Um, and people go, what's the difference between intellect and wisdom? Okay, let's use a biblical thing. Um, an intelligent person would have looked at the mother who said, don't cut my baby in half, just give it to the other woman. The intelligence would not have picked that up, but the wisdom would go, that's the mother. Give that child to the mother. Because the mother's willing to let the child go so it can live a life rather than kill it on the spot, where the other mother said, cut it in half. That's not the mother. Over here is the mother. And it was wisdom that told the king what to do. And so it wasn't an intellectual problem, it was an emotional feeling problem. Most of the time, when I answer questions, I answer them in the way I feel. Not what I think, it's what I feel. And I've done that my whole life. And I was that way before I met Pitholem. When I was a little child, I did the same thing. It's my feelings that tell me what I need to know.
Right.
And I was like that since, well, when did you start eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? That's when I started using it.
Yeah.
I started using my feelings to answer questions. And, and truthfully, it's made me look smarter than I think I actually am. I just look good.
So, what did Pitholem think about the new body? Is she excited about your new body and her new body? Is she excited about?
Yeah, yeah. I told her. I said I made a joke with her. I said, if I didn't know better, you're getting kind of earthy like a human. She goes, how come? I said, well, you're excited about your new body, my body. I said, I'm old, but I'm not dead. I said, you got you got some ideas on your mind that's going to be very interesting thing to deal with for me. But and I said, and I think you plan to explore biology on a personal level. And she got quiet, and I thought, okay, so I'm hitting around the nerve, huh? So it's true. Well, I think she's think about for me. I've had somebody in me for 54 years, and not a single argument
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Never even raised my voice. That's why she's been so excited and squealing, jumping up and down. What are you when you on a thumbs up?
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's, but nevertheless, what a perfect symbiotic relationship. Not a single argument in 54 years.
Yeah.
Never raised my voice.
Well, and is she excited about the projects that you'll be working on and the
She
change
is
not
that.
only, yeah, yeah. So she'll be
Yeah.
helping with that in a big
Oh
way.
yeah, she's totally behind the thing, and um, I don't know. I've been asking her for advice. What? How do you fund something of this magnitude? Still just an average person. I've never been a one percenter. And you know what? One percenters, they don't know any more than I do. They just had experience. That's all. They've been exposed to it.
Yeah.
Imagine you have the financial options of doing anything you would want to do. Well, that will influence your thinking right there.
Right.
So, and now we're about to do the same.
It expands your, like, again, we don't know what could be out there, but it expands your thinking. And then once you do some of that stuff, you learn more and more. So it's going to be like probably never ending expansion is my guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the things that Smarty wants me to do. First, we do the basic things, basic business plans, things that make money, things that are
Yeah.
stable.
Yeah.
Then but where we're different from everybody, my expansions don't end. They just don't. They just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things that I can build, things I can design. Um, just one machine, one device, electrophoretic processor kicks out the cure for diabetes. Imagine what that's worth worldwide. That's, I mean, that's significant, and that's a minor one. You ever see the bigger stuff?
Yeah.
Asteroid mining. I, you know, I kid Smarty about it, but I told him, "Are you looking for a dilithium crystal? Or are you looking for 100% unobtainium? Unobtainium is the stuff that was in the Avatar movie. Remember the mountains that float?
Yeah.
Remember the rock that was floating on that guy's desk?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
anti gravity, or what do they call it? Anti-gravitic. Well, that's what that was. Um, and it'll be a different element on our periodic table.
Yeah.
The most stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. I've heard a lot of stupid stuff, y'all. But I've had these PhDs, in nuclear physics. They know everything. No, they don't. They don't know as much as I do. But they're trying to tell me that's it on the periodic table. I'm going, what?
I
That's
think they
it?
actually took some elements off in the past 100 years.
They have. They
Yeah.
actually dropped
So they don't
because
want the general population to know about these things.
well, the reason they dropped them is well, first of all, uranium. Do you know uranium is not from Earth? It's not indigenous to this planet. Does the name sound familiar? Uranium. It's from Uranus. It There's a layer of it all the way around the Earth. Apparently, we got a shower of uranium of Uranus on Earth millions of years ago, and it came in the form of uranium 238. So now we're about used it all up, and that'll be one of the next elements that'll be taken off the table. The elements that's off the chart is all used up. It's gone. It wasn't indigenous to Earth to begin with.
Interesting.
So that's why I said let's pick the asteroid belt. The asteroid belt is in between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. It's gigantic. It actually expands 4 billion miles in diameter for the circumference of the solar system. And we don't know what it was. It had to be, if it was a planet, it couldn't. had to be the
Yeah.
planet size of 10 Jupiters,
Yeah.
to break apart so much matter out there.
Yeah.
We don't even know where it came from. But what we do know is when we have shot radio telescopes at them, that laying out in that asteroid belt is asteroids. Some of them the size of the state of Texas. Big. God
Big.
almighty.
Yeah.
So, some of them we could even call planetoids, which, has got the mass, and some of them even have gravity fields on them.
Yeah.
And what they are, they're just pure elements: iron, magnesium, zinc, chromium. No dirt, just ore. Dig in that thing. So what you do, you build one of my engines, send it out into the asteroid field. It slowly does this very soft impact, lands on the thing, drill in these big anchor blowdown bolts, turn the engine on, and drive that mass back to Earth. Mass driver. You park it on the opposite side of the orbit of the moon at a predetermined point so you don't affect the gravitational tides of the oceans of Earth. And then chow down, buddy. Dig in that sucker.
Yeah.
Bore it out. And when you get through, make it completely hollow inside, and you got a great spacecraft.
Right.
Um, but all what you pull out of it, get ready, professors. That's all there is, because there's going to be elements in that damn thing that we don't
Right.
even have a name for
Right.
yet.
Right.
Your dilithium crystals, your unobtainium, and God knows what else. Kryptonite. We have no idea what's going to be out there, but I guarantee this: there will be stuff there. There will be things that we'll find that are not on the periodic table, and we can put it to work. My God, you're liable to have something you discover there that may kill all cancer forms on Earth. Just eradicates it. What would that be worth?
Well,
See, it's just
if we have the chambers, we don't really need to mess with that stuff. We've already got a shortcut.
you may have a new energy out there
Yeah.
in those elements that
Yeah.
makes all our energy look like cavemen.
I
So,
feel I feel like though, excuse me, after the chambers, I feel like the technology will trickle down to Earth that's already out there. And a
you
lot
probably
of
will.
what, maybe you've been trying to even work on is already invented. We don't know.
I have no idea. You could be right. I just know there's a lot of things I could invent. Um, Processes and materials, and maybe a way to eliminate telemarketers so
Yeah.
they don't call anymore, which is
Yeah.
exactly what this is. But anyway, um, there's construction techniques I can build that will allow us to build something entirely different.
Well, I
Um,
guess that's my next question is, how will you approach helping? Like, let's say you've got your new body, you're feeling really good, all right? Full of energy, full of, as they used to say, vim and vigor, right? All right.
yeah,
So,
strong like bull.
yeah, yeah. So you're there, all right? You got tons of energy. You don't need to sleep. You got time. Then you've got the funding. What are your projects? Like, what things are you planning to work on?
Oh my God. Well, we don't have 3 or 4 days to spare.
Okay.
But super metals, super electronic crystals, pharmaceuticals. You think big farms got things going? You wouldn't believe the crap I'll turn out there, because I'm like a sorcerer, because I'm outside the field of gravity. Create stuff you would not believe.
Okay.
My arms cut off, my legs cut off. Take a pill, we'll grow it back.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Let me give you time to explain how that works. Um, Glass snakes do it. So there are creatures on this planet that do it.
Right.
Um, Some of our arthropods do.
Well, we want it
Squids,
done quicker
octopus.
than, like a starfish can grow its leg back, but we want it to
That's
be
right.
done. Bing. We don't want to wait.
Well, you might have to wait a few weeks or a month, but other than that, facing a lifetime without the limb, I think you won't mind the wait at all.
Right, right. Okay.
Um, but it just God, there's so much we can cure. I tell you what that is. Those are insurance companies. Um, I just called to ask for a quote. They've called 26 times today.
Wow.
This is 27. And that's a very aggressive market, but also shows you the attitude of insurance companies. They live in a world of fear.
Show me the
It's
money. Yep.
fear of loss. You
Yeah.
don't have this insurance. What if this happens to you? Oh my God, you're gone. Everything's gone.
Yeah.
So they live in a world of constant fear, and that's what they sell.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's very annoying.
Again, a program. It's a program. And we're all
Very much
taught
so.
we have to have it. We must have it. In fact, sometimes people opt for more than they need. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
You're throwing your money down the drain, but whatever.
Well, they have categories called standard, or what was it?
Premium.
Ultimate special, or the
Yeah.
ultimate premium,
Yeah.
meaning you can overinsure.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. They're insuring uh, uninsured motorists, so they have nothing.
Yeah.
The cars
You
fall to pieces. It's going to cost you thousands of dollars, and there's no insurance for them to pay you the help. So that's uninsured motorists, and that happens a lot around here in North
yeah.
Carolina because we have such a huge rate of
We can't hear you right now. You, you're doing something with your headset that messed with the microphone. It took us 40 minutes to set up the microphone earlier today. It just wasn't working. Okay, so long as we're talking here, Pitholem ball available at smartiescorner.com or the Company of Heaven official.com. 20% off orders over 100. The code to use is Starfire, and I'll put that in the description. So we really like to spread the Holotech Smarties products around the earth because that brings up the vibration of each area that they land and the people. It helps to heal the people, the plants, the animals, but it brings up the vibe. Are you back? No. We can't hear you. David, we can't hear you. Can you hear me? Shoot. No. No. So can you hear me? Okay. We're kind of maybe at a good breaking point for today anyway. So maybe we'll talk again if you're willing. Thank you. Thank you guys for being patient. I'll put some, I'll add the picture, I'll add the link for, or this, oh my God, the discount code in here for you. And thank you, David, for your time. I appreciate it so much. All right. I'm going to sign off now. Thank you.